Now, the Sikkim flash floods have devastated the lives and livelihoods of thousands of people. The death toll has now crossed 40. There are rescue operations that continue, and there have been bodies that have now been recovered from Bengal and Bihar, where the flooded Teesta River has flown into. In this telecast, we call for Sikkim SOS. We appeal to our viewers to donate generously to the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund to help the Sikkim authorities deal with this unprecedented crisis. We on NewsX have contributed to the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund ourselves. My editorial team has donated 1 day's salary to the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund. We have now opened our caller lines. If my team can put out the caller lines, please. The bottom of your screens will quickly have our phone lines open. We would encourage more and more viewers who are watching us right now to call us, to in fact pledge to support the Sikkim SOS NewsX campaign. And all right. Okay, so we are carrying forward the Sikkim SOS campaign. Call us live. The numbers are flashing on your screen, at the bottom of your screen. We have pledged to help out the victims, to help out the authorities, to help out with the rescue operations. And we on NewsX have gone about donating the editorial staff's one day's salary to the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund, and we would appeal and encourage more and more of our viewers to pledge to donate generously, in whichever bit that you can. Go to the website of the Chief Minister Disaster Relief Fund and donate whatever little amount that you can part with to join in this noble initiative to save the lives and livelihoods of hundreds and thousands of people who are currently stranded. There are several others that are missing right now. There are 40 people who have died, and the NDRF rescue operations have continued incessantly for the last few days, ever since that cloud burst led to the flooding of the Teesta River. I'm going to start my conversation, but before I start off with my special guests who join me on the telecast, I'm just going to quickly ask my PCR team to replicate my touchpad onto the television screen. And this is the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund website. It is called the cmdrc.sikkim.gov.in. All you have to do is log into this website. There is an option over here of donating to the government of Sikkim for the Disaster Relief Fund. There is an option of individual, company and group. So if you are an individual, you click it over here on the individual. You can go, you can either register yourself, continue with the account registration, or you can continue without registration. And if you continue over here, you can donate as a guest. You can put in your information. You have to upload your picture. You have to put in your full name, the mobile number, the email address, and the country and the amount that you want to donate for this relief fund. And if I could also, this is the receipt that you get after the donation that you've made. This is received with thanks, a sum of 11,000 rupees from NewsX editorial team as donation towards the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund. Your generous donation will go a long way in helping us to make the lives of disaster affected people better. And this is dated 6th of October 2023. I'm quickly going to get my guests on the telecast with me. Major General Dwivedi on the telecast with me. Major General, you know, this is unprecedented. The devastation in terms of the lives that have been lost, in terms of the livelihoods that have been taken away from the people of Sikkim is shocking. It's devastating. And in a time such as this, every single countryman needs to come together to help the cause of the disaster and relief operations that are taking place.
absolutely, Mega. I think it's a national tragedy and a very heartrending scenes one can witness. And this state of Sikkim, I think, has suffered a very devastating natural calamity. And having served in these areas, these people, as it is, they have a very minimal subsistence level of living. And I think this is going to hit very hard to the state in general and to the people who have been affected in particular. I like to compliment your channel that you have taken such a noble initiative to help out the fellow citizens who are in distress at this juncture, and this help will go a long way in mitigating the disaster and the calamity that has fallen upon our fellow citizens. Now, I'd like to make three very quick points. First and foremost, these areas are very fragile ecologically, and these glacial lakes, they can actually burst out at a very short notice because sometimes there can be moraine, sudden melting of snow, and in this case, the tragedy was compounded because as it is, there were heavy rainfalls, and the Teesta River was in spate, and this tragedy of bursting of the lake actually compounded and caught everyone unaware. And while we are, trying to provide every possible relief, but it is a tragedy which is going to take long time to mitigate, and especially the kind of economic damage and loss of life,
Right.
which actually has hit very hard. And I think we all need to chip in at this time to mitigate the suffering of our fellow citizens in Sikkim.
I'm again going to say that this is a Sikkim SOS NewsX initiative that we have started. The caller lines are open. What we are appealing to our viewers, to everybody who's watching us, that please go to the Chief Minister Disaster Relief Fund website, donate in whatever way you can, because this help, this aid is then going to reach to the people who have lost their livelihood, maybe the families of the victims who have lost their family member. It's going to go a long way in helping out these people in distress at this point of time. I will once again say there are 40 people who at this point of time have lost their lives. This is a large number, including the army personnel. There are thousands who are missing currently. The search operations have continued. This is I think the fifth or the sixth day since the flash flood actually occurred in the area. It has in fact then diverged into Bihar and Bengal, where the Teesta waters have flowed into, and call us and tell us about this noble initiative that you then have undertaken after having donated that sum of money to the Chief Minister Disaster Relief Fund. I'm also being joined by Naveen Bhatnagar. He's a former DIG of the NDRF. Mr. Bhatnagar, how difficult and strenuous does the situation become for the NDRF teams, who are then, risking their lives to safeguard those who are at this point of time missing, and thousands of them are missing currently? Krishna Mitru also in the telecast with me. Krishna, quickly getting a response from you on this matter. How difficult do the disaster relief measures become when there is such inundation of water and it is just spread not just in Sikkim, it is in Bengal and Bihar as well?
Thank you for inviting me on your channel. This is a situation which we have faced earlier also. I recall in 1968, I was posted at Bagdogra, Siliguri, and there was a massive floods. If you may recall, that was the time when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi came to sympathize with the locals, and she got pelted with a stone on her nose. The locals get so raged about not being looked after. Yes, your initiative about seeking assistance to the survivors is a very, very highly noble cause and must be adhered to. Well, as far as the terrain is concerned, let me go about it. It is a very, very difficult terrain. I have seen this by air, by road, all through, and I have experienced the bad times in that area. More than anything else, along the path of the Teesta River, there are tall hills, and the river, the mighty Teesta, flows with great force and speed. through those hills. And the moment there is a breach of any of the dams or extra flow of water, the speed increases tremendously, and the flow also increases so tremendously that the edges of the river, either end of the river, has no escape but to flow along
Right.
the
Yes.
river.
Yes.
Now, primarily, what happens is that over a period of time, unplanned development also triggers a lot of disaster in this area, because people go and settle down, and they cut their trees. With that, the mountain becomes soft, and with any inundation kind of a thing of the river, the banks of the river just collapse, and this is what the result is. I am sure Sikkim Disaster Management Authority must have taken adequate steps in time, but this is a situation where the floods have resulted due to a cloudburst.
Yeah. There are also speculations with regards to that a cloudburst would not cause so much devastation, so much loss to property and loss to life. But perhaps tremors that were felt in the northern part of the country and northeastern part of the country because of the earthquakes that were witnessed in Nepal just a few days ago.
Yes, let me complete my point. What you're saying is right, absolutely right. The earthquake also was definitely a triggering a cause for this flooding. But let me tell you, having had such a severe monsoon in the northeastern sector, did we first reduce the level of water in the reservoirs on top, that is in the lakes on top? We ought to have done that. I'm sure the authorities may have done it.
Yeah.
But if
quickly, I'm sorry, I'll have to just interrupt you. I'm currently being joined by Indra Hang Suba. He's the Lok Sabha member of the Parliament from Sikkim. And Mr. Suba, a time of distress. There are a large number of NDRF teams, search and rescue operations that are going on. What's the situation? How well equipped is the government right now to handle it? If you could tell me from your own witness account of the situation over there.
While in Sikkim the situation has been worse till today, but with the opening of the weather, I think the government is personally, the Honorable Chief Minister himself is personally visiting the places, and the government is well equipped enough, and at the same time the central government is very helpful, and the NDRF team, they are already there rescuing the victims. So we are well prepared enough, and we are trying to mitigate the sufferings caused by the flood.
Now, the Chief Minister has also gone about appealing to the people. There is a Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund. People have been asked to generously come out in support, give us aid, give the aid to the Chief Minister. How far are these contingency plans panning out? You said that this is on October 6th. Now the situation you're saying is slightly coming under control. How much more time do you think will it take for the people to be rehabilitated?
While the level of the water in the Teesta River is gradually receding, and we are hopeful that further we won't have any kind of disaster in the higher altitudes. However, the reconstruction and resettlement of all the victims, it will take a few more months, at least a year, so that we can mitigate, we can resettle all the victims whose entire property have been washed away by this flood. So the Chief Minister's Relief Fund is not the only fund that we are using for mitigation purpose. but we also have other funds. We have been helped by the central government also. And I think with those funds, for now, we are able to, bring the situation under control. And with the time, we are hopeful that the union government and of course the defense ministry especially, because in the northern part of the state where we have borders with China, the entire stretches of the border roads have been washed away. So I think for to reconstruct all those roads, I think we need quite a fund, which will, I think, the ministry and the government of India will also take into account.
Mr. Subba, when you talk about the help from the central government, what is it that the Chief Minister at this point of time is seeking?
Yes.
What is it that the Chief Minister and the Sikkim government are seeking from the government of India in terms of help, in terms of aid?
For the time being, we are in touch, our government is in touch with the central government, and we are taking the immediate steps just to for the resettlement and reconstruction of all the damages that has been caused. So with the time, we will gradually prioritize which are the things to be done first, and then the other things. With that, the technical team committee has also been constituted by the central government, and the state government is also coming up with a committee, the technical team. So we will be assessing every damage caused by the flood, and then we will be deciding what are the the help needed from the central government, and what are the things the state government itself can do. But before that, we are going to constitute a technical expert committee, which will assess all the situation and all the damages caused.
Mr. Subba, is there any announcement that has been made? When is the announcement that is going to be made by the authorities, by the Chief Minister, about compensation being provided to the families of the victims who have lost their lives, also to those who have lost their property?
Amount of for immediate purpose, the ex gratia amount of 4 lakh for those who have lost their lives have been already announced today, and for immediate mitigation, the 3 districts of Sikkim has been primarily affected by the Teesta flood. So for North Sikkim, 25 crore has been announced. For Gangtok district, Pakyong district and Namchi district, 15 crore each has been already announced for immediate mitigation. So these are the announcements made by the Honorable Chief Minister today.
Okay. What about the rescue operations? Are the NDRF teams that have been deployed sufficient, or are there more who are going to be called in?
There are NDRF also, we have state SDRF also we have. So they are working, but for North district where a huge damage has been caused, and the entire area has been isolated because of the entire area has been cut off. So for that, more NDRF teams they are arriving. So we are waiting for the weather to clear up so that we can airlift them to North Sikkim where they can function. They can do the rescue operation. For the time being, SDRF is doing it.
Okay. Mr. Subba, is there an appeal that you would like to make to people in Sikkim who may be struck, perhaps they don't have water, electricity, other connecting points to their relatives, to their family members who may be stranded? We here on NewsX have also put out our phone lines in the hopes that if there is somebody who is living in Sikkim and who are facing problems, who are facing shortage of water, food, shelter, etc., may call us, and then we may help in reaching out to the authorities. Somebody like you, the member of the parliament, who then going to take forward their appeal and allow for fast redressal to take place. Is there a way to, for Sikkim people, are there numbers that have been put out by the government?
Government has already, government has already put out the, the helpline numbers of every district. So this is available on social media also. The government of Sikkim page is there. You can have the helpline numbers from there also. And also, whoever is stranded in North Sikkim, especially in Laten and Lachung, the entire connectivity, the communication connectivity is entirely gone, so it's not possible to make a call from anywhere. So for that, I'd like to appeal everyone to not to panic, because we have information that everyone, all the tourists stranded in Lachen and Lasung are safe. So there are, I think, no casualties for now. So we don't have any report of casualties especially from the tourists. So for their evacuation, the government is working on it. So they will be airlifted from Lachen, Lasung to Mangan, and then they will be evacuated by road. So I think the tourists stranded there and their families wherever in India, they need not panic for now. So state government is doing everything to mitigate their difficulties.
So there is also a lot of information reports pouring in that there are still thousands of people who are missing. Is there a missing list that has been collated by the government, by the authorities?
For now, officially, we have about 103 people missing, and which includes about 50 numbers of army personnel. We have about, I think, 18 or 19 confirmed deaths. So I think that is the official number. We have it for now. But with time, if someone reports that their family member is still missing, then this number will be updated.
Okay. Also, you know, there have been rescue operations that have been taking place in neighboring Bihar and Bengal states as well. Is the government of Sikkim in touch with them?
Government of Sikkim, I think government to government talk is there. So whatever bodies that were swept away from Sikkim part, so if they are recovered in other parts of the country or in the other state like West Bengal, where the Teesta flows, and the government to government talk is there, they are in contact. So that is how the coordination is being done.
All right, thank you, Mr. Indra Hang Subha, Lok Sabha member of the Parliament, East from Sikkim, and thank you for giving us all this important information and dispelling all the rumors and other talk that is floating in. So credible information pouring in. As of now, what we are getting to know is there are officially 103 people that are missing. Amongst them, there are several army personnel that are missing. There are rescue operations of the state disaster force that is at this point of time working in tandem with the national disaster rescue operations that are being taken forth by the NDRF team as well. At this point of time, there are helpline numbers that have been put out by the government of Sikkim. There are some tourists who have travelled to Sikkim in the past few days who are stranded, but there is no reason to worry about, because as per Mr. Subha, the government has ensured that these tourists are being safeguarded, and that's the information flowing in. Once again, I will just appeal my viewers, especially those who are at this point in time stranded in Sikkim, any tourists who are stranded in Sikkim. I understand northern Sikkim at this point of time is completely inundated, so perhaps there will be all connections to television, to internet, and other social media networks is going to be. It's not even going to be limited. It's not going to be there at all. But in those in southern part of Sikkim who want to reach out, tell us their problems if they are falling short of food, of resources, of water, if they don't have shelter, we could be the medium and we would be happy to help you reach out and connect you with the concerned authorities to resolve their matter. All right, I'm also at this point of time being joined by Gay Shering Dungal. He is an MLA from Sikkim. Mr. Gay Shering Dungal, it's good to have you on the telecast, and first things first, if you could shed more light into the numbers, the number of people missing, the number of people who have already died, what are the operations that are being undertaken by the authorities currently?
Good evening, madam. The data and all the inputs which have been furnished by MPs almost okay, because as you said, there are about 103 people, those who have been missing till the last reports came in, and we have about 19 deaths. That's the report we have received. And apart from it, other things were being carried out, and other safeguarding and other rescue operations and whatever it is, those are being carried out in a large extent.
we were speaking with the Lok Sabha member of the parliament, Mr. Subba. He said that there is the NDRF, there is the SDRF who are working in tandem for the rescue and relief operations. Is there more teams that are going to be deployed right now, or are they sufficient? Are the NDRF and the SDRF teams that are currently deployed sufficient for the rescue operations?
No, we have the NDRF and SDRF that is there. Apart from that, from every constituency and from other local peoples, we are creating volunteer groups, those who can go and help them in rescue operations. And besides that, we have armed personnel also, like from the police, we have from the defense personnel. So all of them are putting into all these rescue operations.
Now, among the 40 people who have died, there are a large number of them who are army personnel. I also want to understand what happened that in which part in northern part of Sikkim, why was a large percentage of these persons who are missing or who are found dead, and they belong to the army?
No, most of them, especially the armed personnel and the army stations, are by the riverside only. And if you go and see, most of the stations which have been hit and which have been built is along the riverway. So the most affected portion is along the riverside. So it's not along the hillside, mainly it's along the riverside. So the people residing, those who have houses beside the rivers, they have been affected. And amongst them, most of them, the army personnel and even the workers are there, the laborers who have been working hydropower projects and other related projects.
Okay. There is also already an announcement of 4 lakh ex gratia for the families of the victims who have lost their lives. Is there more compensation that the government is likely to announce in the coming days for those who have lost their livelihoods, properties, jobs, etc.?
Oh, that will depend on the gravity of the situation. And if the demands for arise and if the needs for arises, naturally the government will increase the amount also with due time.
So it has been days together now that the government, the rescue authorities have been grappling with the situation. There are still many people who are missing. Has the situation come under control today?
Yes, to a great extent, because the water has receded and the rainfall also has stopped to a great extent. So this is in fact helping us in carrying out the rescue operations. Here it's difficult because the terrain is very harsh. And the terrain, if you see, is inhospitable. Right from North Sikkim, if you go down, and the river, along the river belts also, it's very difficult. So carrying out the rescue operations in just difficult terrains requires time and, of course, sheer grit also and determination also. So time is, of course, naturally needed, and more time is needed.
At this time, the Chief Minister of Sikkim and the Sikkim government, what is it that you are seeking from the government of India, from the central government in terms of help and aid?
Aid, especially what we want is in the medical side also there is more than that, we want help in the restoration of all the infrastructures which have been damaged. And apart from that, for the lives lost, we need to pay them due ex gratia payment also. And main is the restoration and to ensure that normal lifeline is restored for these, the amount whatever is required to restore these infrastructures, that is to be given top priority.
Also, sir, about the tourists, now this was tourist season and a number of tourists have been stranded as well. Their families are also worried because they have not been able to build a connect with them because of internet connection problems, because of phone lines getting cut, because of the lack of mobile networks. Now, how is the government helping in such a scenario?
No, actually, see the connectivity problem we had to see lately when the road was disrupted and the breach was taken place, the connectivity was lost. But then now it's being gradually coming back to normal. And the tourists, as it is, they should not panic because the government has stationed all the armed personnel, the police people, and all the administrators to see that they are not troubled, and whatever their connectivity and what their transportation and their need, whatever it is to be looked into. So there's no need for the tourists to panic because everything is being normalized. And as I see, the things are getting into the right aspect, so there's nothing to worry for them.
Also, Mr. Subbu was mentioning about, Mr. Subba was also mentioning about how there is an expert committee that is soon going to be formed. Or what is going to be the purpose of this committee, and what is it that it is going to find out?
Now, expert committees are required to assess the damages, especially, and the reasons why these were damaged. And besides that, all the other technical inputs and other know-hows, whichever is to be needed or required, that is to be sought after, and that has to be built and brought to the public in general. So, for all these aspects, we require a team in regard to all the technicalities and other realities with which the state has been grappling.
And what is the appeal that you would want to make to the people of Sikkim and the people across the country in terms of donations that they can make on the Relief Fund website of the Chief Minister?
Yes, they should get into the website of the Chief Minister. He's got it, and then the state government has already given all the details where the connections or the contacts are to be made, and accordingly donations and other help can be given. And one last request I would like to make to the government of, especially the central government, that when they make all these dams, they should ensure that these are made in foolproof, because these dams have been made. The problem arose because of the this cloudburst at the Lonak Valley, Lonak Lake. But then the water which was on the excess side, it flowed down and it was trapped in the dams. But then it was beyond the design quantum which was to be stored there. So it flowed down and it caused a problem. So the embankments along the rivers, right from North Sikkim running up to Siliguri, should be duly protected, giving due importance, and all the parameters taking into account the safety factors, they should be put in place so that the devastations and the damages to the infrastructures like the roads, bridges and houses is avoided.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you for joining us and sharing all these details. They are very important details. I hope this message is going across to people who are stranded currently in Sikkim, particularly in northern Sikkim is where the devastation has been extreme. All right, on the telecast with me is M. Prasad Sharma. He is a member of the parliament. He joins me. He is also from Sikkim. And Mr. M. Prasad Sharma, particularly to the point that has been raised by Mr. Gay Sharing Dungil about the dam, the construction of it, and how there needs to be more emphasis that needs to be laid in the design, in the structure of these dams to ensure there is a minimum damage to the embankments and parameters are followed. So, is there at this point of time any report coming in that these parameters were not followed and that led to this increased devastation which could have been avoided?
Yeah, it is seen that the Chungthang where Teesta Urja third is made, it is not follow all the rules. Therefore, that when this Lonark lake, when cloud burst there, that time when it's fall down there, then totally that dam is shift away. So the more damage caused by this dam. So it is not follow the whatever rule and regulation of that dam when it made. It is totally that because of that dam, big damage caused in Sikkim.
Is there an investigation committee that is going to be formed to look into this matter, because this is a grave danger?
Today our CM announced that now we'll investigate this about what type of material that time used when this dam was made. Then already today our HCM told that we are making the committee for this one.
Okay. Now, what has been looked into in terms of the committee? It would already be known that who were the construction owners, who is it that the civil engineers, civil companies who were given this contract after the tender would have been floated. So has investigation already started? Have these people and organizations and companies and owners been zeroed in?
Yeah, today CM Saab is announced that I think tomorrow onwards committee will start to investigate about it.
Okay, also with regards to the people who are currently missing, is the Sikkim government and the NDRF and the SDRF teams that are deployed equipped to ensure that rescue operations are done in a proper manner?
Yeah, today onwards rain is stopped now. Then NDRF and the local authorities all are started to search, and we are also going different places which is damaged, totally damaged by this flood, and we are making already 26 restoration place and all. And today onwards only our NDRF are going to start their work. Also the army personnel also missing, so army also started to search their vehicle and dead bodies and all. 7 army personnel found today so far. Then other till now 26 dead body are recovered till now. Now in North Sikkim, the Chungthang is totally cut off from us, and we are not going to reach there. The tomorrow at morning time, CM Saab arrange us to go there by foot only. We are going to North Sikkim, nearby Mangan. Then Naga village is there. After that, by foot, we are going there to find out what type of condition is there. Because today also bad weather condition. Because of bad weather condition, nobody can reach there. Helicopter, even chopper also try so many times, but we are not reached there.
Okay. So then these areas that you mentioned, these villages and catchments that you mentioned that have been completely cut off from the rest of Sikkim, how many people are there? How many people are there who are stranded in these areas? Is there an estimate?
Around 25, more than 2,500 Chungthang, in Chungthang Valley only, more than 2,500, and other village which is totally cut off from us is 11 village. So 11 village.
How soon will the government, how soon will the rescue teams be able to connect with these people, these villages again? Also, what kind of problems will they be facing? The fact that they do they have enough water? Do they have shelter? Do they have food? Do they have other essentials to keep themselves sustained during this time?
No, totally Chungthang is cut off from us. Even the army personnel also not going to contact there. Then at evening time, just now we received a phone call from local MLAs from there. He reached there, and totally all people are safe there. But the connectivity is totally cut down from there. So if tomorrow onwards, if rain is not raining, then we are trying there at evening time, morning time only. We are started our journey from here. Then at evening time we reach there.
Okay. What are the measures that the authorities and the teams for rescue operations will be traveling? You said they'll be traveling by foot. There is no other way to reach out to these villages.
No, there is no other alternative.
Yeah. So what is it that they are trying? What is it that they are going to do? Are they going to then bring these people into the southern part of Sikkim? Are they going to then?
First of all, we have to see the situation. What kind of situation is there? First of all, we have to see the situation. Then we are trying to rescue from there.
Okay. Okay, all right. What is the appeal that you would like to make to the people?
I like to appeal all the people from your channel that yesterday also another lake, Sakuchu Lake, is burst. This type of rumors is coming, but this is totally a rumors only. There is no any other lake is burst now. Then we are trying. Our government is trying best, our level best to reach there. Then yesterday only till Naga village we reached there. Then all relief materials are there. Then already I told you that tomorrow morning at early in the morning we start our journey to reach there. I think after 4 p.m. till 4 p.m. we reach there. Then we see the condition, what type of condition is there. Then I appeal all the people, do not worry, we are with you, and central government also assure us to help each and every field. So we, the state government also trying our level best, and we help each and every people to rescue from there. Then to restoration also, we are going to do our best.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. M. Prasad Sharma, for joining us and sharing all those important details about the rescue operations that are taking place in Sikkim for the last many days. All right. I'm going to, get on board Mr. Naveen Bhatnagar, if you can hear us now. Mr. Naveen, a number of questions get answered with, the Sikkim MLA and the members of the parliament who have just spoken to us. Said there are at least 25,000 people who are stranded because of no connectivity that can be rebuilt in these 11 villages that have been completely cut off from the rest of the state. Now, that's a dangerous, precarious situation, and the government of India, the government of Sikkim and the other authorities and the rescue operations can only be initiated tomorrow on foot. So that's a dangerous situation. How and it's a situation where people may not have food and water for longer periods of time to sustain themselves.
Yeah, it's a typical type of crisis. So in this condition, already our PMO is taking care about it. 24/7 is visualizing and getting the information from the authorities working there. And as per requirement, they are sending the NDRF and adequate fund to the state government also. Our other teams are also ready to help the people there. So, our people, as well as the state government and the authorities, are continuously in the touch of PMO and we people. So need not to worry. We are helping the people. As I told you, is a typical type of crisis. So now the roads were damaged, the approaching road was damaged. So to go to visit the villages, really a wonderful, really a challenging job. So for that purpose, we are using the boats and the other communication systems also.
Okay.
And we will try to send our drones and helicopters. Only we can rescue the people due to this helicopter, and we can communicate through drone, and we can supply the ration and other required items through this drone. So anyhow, army is there with us, and local authorities,
Okay.
and state government.
Okay. Also, an important glaring lacunae over here with regards to this dam that has been completely washed away in Changdang, and questions being raised about its the fact that it was constructed with alleged substandard material. There were no parameters that were followed. There is going to be an expert committee that is going to be formed, and it is going to then assess what damage was done, why was it done, and why was the dam not able to withstand this flood. Could disaster have been averted? Could more lives have been saved?
Sorry, I differ from you. This dam is really a wonderful dam, Teesta Dam, and a lot of adequate arrangement, safety arrangement has been given. and adequate this construction work was there, supervision was there, but it happened due to cloud burst. Cloud burst means double amount of water, rain was there, and the capacity was not to sustain of that thing. So it happened. In such conditions, it happens.
Okay.
It's not a fault. It's not a fault of this construction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have Krishna Mitru who has a contrasting view on this. Krishna ji, please go ahead.
Well, Naveen ji, sorry, I differ with you. So this dam was constructed in 2017, to the best of my study. And just in 6 years, a dam can collapse. The construction done in modern times, which caters for all kinds of dam safety. Dam safety must have been looked into at the time of construction. In spite of that, now you are saying that because of the cloudburst, the dam has overflown. What are the anticipatory measures taken to empty out the dam before the monsoons? It is known that this area draws the heaviest rainfall around the world. This is very close to Cherrapunji also, and we know that year after year, experiences after experiences, the rain comes heavy. And as far as the cloudburst is concerned, it is just a local phenomena, which I think if due measures were taken in time, this would not have happened. Now, the most important thing I would like to point out here is number one, that we are becoming reactive in this 21st century, 22nd century, coming on 22nd. Instead of being proactive, we are reactive to a disaster. The basic principles of disaster management is that you have got to be proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah.
Proactive means you should have prepared earlier. Second thing is, why should we every time rely upon central government to come and give me the help? I remember in Kerala floods also in 2018, the similar thing happened. When the state government started approaching, I want funds from the center. Where are the funds which the government gives you, the central government gives you for disaster management? There are billions of billions of rupees spent on disaster management. Where does that money go?
Okay.
Besides
a very, very important raised by you, Krishna ji. Major General Dwivedi, quickly a response from you now with regards to this committee that is going to be formed. Now, there are questions that are going to be raised. There are fingers that are going to be pointed. Do you think it's going to be a rehash of what we have seen in the past? As Mr. Krishna Mitru said that, we are reactive to it. We are not proactive to it. And could there be some collusion that could be found with regards to substandard materials that were used for the dam, proper parameters not being followed while construction of the dam? Who is going to be held responsible for it?
Well, Megha, I totally agree with Mr. Krishnan. The point is, today we are in a high technology era, and these sort of disasters can be anticipated. Even this lake, which has burst, there were indications from satellites that it is in a very, very vulnerable and a very sort of delicate situation. But I sorry to say that no preemptive action was taken. Point number one. Secondly, we must understand that ecology of Himalayas is very, very fragile. You see what happened in Uttarakhand, what has happened in Himachal. I belong to Punjab. We have faced that consequences. We are not drawing right lessons that this ecology, this sustenance development has to take care of even the environment. We cannot disturb the environment and then go on for development. And point number three is that these structures in these areas have to be doubly assured that they are able to withstand such calamities, and you cannot apply same parameters of construction what is done in the plain areas. We have to take special care. And fourthly, about the army, the army actually, this was a staging camp which actually got washed out. The vehicle come and go and stage at night, and this was a staging area very close to the bank, and that's where the army has suffered these, I think, very, very unfortunate casualties. And my last point is, disasters have to be anticipated, both at the state, at the central level. and state must be the first responder. Center will complement the effort, but the state has to take the first call.
Okay.
But what happens here, straightway we throw the ball in center's court, and that is not the way we need to go forward.
Yes.
I think we
Okay.
need to take disaster management more seriously than we are taking now, and we are taking more a fait accompli rather than anticipating the situation. Mega.
Okay, Naveen Bhatnagar, then again, you know, if we keep playing this blame game, it is the people who are at loss. Their lives have been lost, their livelihoods have been lost. It is the people who suffer while governments keep blaming each other.
See, in fact, I had the experience to work there in that Teesta project from initial stage itself. So I know that heavy and complete auditable this thing happened. And as Mr. Mitro told, I differ from his version. But it's a very good construction, and time and again audits were there, and lot of this hydro project engineers and the authorities are watching, and their construction, their soil testing, and all the testings were there. So because it's very near to China border. So definitely a lot of pain was taken by the government and this hydropower authorities, and is a very strong dam. But due to this, it happens. It happens like that because due to heavy rain, cloud burst, and all these things, it happens. It may happen. But anyhow, it is a great challenge and experience to us that now in future we'll do much better about it. Anyhow, we have this practice also, and we'll do it in future. We'll ensure that such type of thing doesn't happen. And now the people, now it's a time to help the people to give as much as the monetary as well as shelter homes and medical aid we are supposed to give to the people. So it's the best time to taken care about it, and our Honorable PM is taking care about it, and he is also giving enough instructions to all the people to what do or not do, and adequate fund will be released.
Okay.
Not to worry. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm being told that I have a caller joining me from Sikkim. Yasir is joining me on the telecast right now. All right, we'll try to quickly patch him. But in the meanwhile, coming back to Mr. Mitru. Now, Mr. Mitru, again, you know, the question of being proactive instead of being reactive, very aptly mentioned by you. I mean, at this point of time, you know, the people can't really do anything but to rely on the governments to give them compensation, give them ex gratia. But does that, you know, the question again being, it's not a long-term solution. It's a just, you know, you do a short-term situation. You do a short-term. You give a short-term relief to the person, relief to the people, and hope that they are not going to raise this issue again, and wait till the time there is another flash flood or another bout of flooding that takes place to then again be in a reactive position.
You see, now every state of the country has a disaster management authority. The principles of disaster management all over the world are: number one, plan, then prepare, then practice,
Yeah.
and then prevent. Now, these are the 4 P's that we have to follow.
Okay.
And every disaster.
I'll just have to quickly interrupt you. I'll come back to you to get a response. I'm being joined by Yasi. Now, Yasi joins me from Jammu and Kashmir. Yasir joins me from Jammu and Kashmir. Yasir's family is currently stuck in Sikkim. Yasir, if you could shed more light into where your family is stuck. Have you been able to get in touch with them?
हेलो
Yasir, can you hear us?
मैम, मेरा जीजा वहाँ पे ड्यूटी है आर्मी जैकेट 10 में. मुझे उसको ये मैसेज करनी है कि अगर वो ठीक है तो वो खाली हमें 1 मिनट के लिए कांटेक्ट करे. उसकी जो बीबी है, जो मेरी बहन है, वो ज्यादा बीमार है.
जी बिल्कुल यासिर, आपका मैसेज होपफुली हम होप करते हैं कि हमारे टेलीविज़न के द्वारा उनके पास पहुंच रहा है। जैसा कि आपने कहा कि वो आपसे संपर्क नहीं बना पा रहे हैं, इज़ नॉट एबल।
जी सर, जी मैम, जी मैम।
हम ये आपका मैसेज हम आशा करते हैं कि आपके जो रिलेटिव हैं, आपके जो फैमिली मेम्बर हैं, ये हमें सुन सकते हैं। और एटलीस्ट हम गवर्नमेंट से भी अपील करेंगे, NDRF से अपील करेंगे कि कुछ संपर्क के माध्यम यहाँ पे बनाएं, जैसे कि यासिर और उनकी फैमिली अपने फैमिली मेम्बर्स से बात कर सकें, एटलीस्ट एक संपर्क बना सकें, एटलीस्ट उनको पता है कि उनकी फैमिली सेफ़ है, उनको कुछ हुआ नहीं है, जहाँ पर भी हैं उनके पास खाने पीने का व्यवस्था है, उनके पास रहने की व्यवस्था है। और यही एक मैसेज चाहते हैं यासिर अपने फैमिली मेंबर से। यासिर, कौन से एरिया में आपको उनको जानते हैं, सिक्किम के कौन से एरिया में वो डिप्लॉयड थे, कहाँ पर थे वो?
जी मैम, वो तो पता नहीं, लेकिन जहाँ पे वो क्या बोलते हैं जैकलाइ टैंक जहाँ पे ड्यूटी थी, तो उनको कल सुबह वहां से जाना था एग्जाम देने, नीचे पता नहीं किस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, लेकिन कल रात में ही वहां पे वो बाढ़ आई, तो उस वजह से हमें उससे कांटेक्ट नहीं हो पाया। तो अगर वो देख रहा है न्यूज़ कुछ, तो उससे कांटेक्ट करने के लिए हमें कुछ।
ओके यासिर, आपका मैसेज हम अपने टेलीविज़न के माध्यम से यहाँ पे पहुँचा रहे हैं। आपके जो रिलेटिव है उनका नाम क्या है?
जी इरशाद अहमद तीली, जैकलाइ टैंक में है वो।
एक मिनट, इरशाद अहमद
तीली जैकलाइ टैंक में है वो, सन ऑफ अब्दुल रशीद तीली, लेट अब्दुल रशीद तीली। अरे रेजिडेंट जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, अनंतनाग डिस्ट्रिक्ट, तहसील अच्छाबल।
ओके, ऑलराइट। तो इरशाद अहमद जी, हम होप करें कि आप ये देख रहे हैं, या जो अगर कोई दूसरे आर्मी पर्सनल हैं, दूसरे आर्मी डिप्लॉयमेंट है वहाँ पे, अगर वो देख रहे हैं, वो सुन रहे हैं, अब हम आशा करते हैं कि आप हमें हमारे पास पहुँचे NewsX को यहाँ पे कॉल करें। हम चाहते हैं कि आप यासिर को कनेक्ट करें जो कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में हैं। वो चाहते हैं, दे वांट दैट यू शुड कॉल देम, यू शुड टेल देम दैट यू आर सेफ एंड साउंड, सो दैट योर फैमिली डज नॉट गेट वरीड अबाउट योर whereabouts, about your well-being, because you are stuck over there in Sikkim. थैंक यासिर, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। आई होप आपका मैसेज आपके रिलेटिव इरशाद अहमद के पास पहुंच गया है। अगर वो नहीं देख रहे, क्या उनके कोई साथी वहाँ पे देख रहे हों, होपफुली। एंड all right, coming back to Mr. Krishnu. So Mr. Krishnu, you know, one of these perhaps several examples where the families have not been able to get in touch with those who are stranded over there. It's a difficult situation. You know, one of these MLAs was mentioning, or a member of the parliament for Sikkim, that, you know, there are 25,000 people who are now completely cut off, 11 villages that have been completely cut off from the rest of the state.
Yes, this is a very, very sad state of affairs that has happened. I would request that whenever the inquiry commission is installed, they must find the quality of construction of a dam which has collapsed in 6 years. And you see, basically this Chungthang Dam was a dam on the run of the river, and it was a hydroelectric dam. You imagine, this was supposed to provide electricity to whole of Sikkim and a portion of West Bengal. What will happen to that state of electricity collapse? That is another national calamity, which I would say. And unless we wake up to the causes, I am afraid we are going to have such incidents again and again. We must ensure that the disaster management authorities take the pre-disaster mitigation measures very, very strictly and seriously.
Absolutely. I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast. The point that we were making, that this is the Sikkim SOS campaign initiative that we have launched, is primarily for people like Yasir who have not been able to get in touch with their relative, their family member who's stuck right now in Sikkim, and there must be hundreds and thousands of them at this point of time who might not be able to get in touch with their family members in other parts of the country. We as NewsX, a medium, are here to provide help, to provide aid, to essentially get you connected with your family members via the state authorities, via the NDRF and security authorities. So I hope this telecast has been of help to the people in Sikkim, to the people who have been wanting to get in touch with their family members. And I'll once again appeal to the people who are watching us right now, to the viewers who are watching us right now on NewsX, to go on the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund website, donate generously. There are thousands who have lost their livelihoods. This is a time that they need your help, so do your bit. Thanks for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.